Okay. Let's get this done. Now, while I get everything prepared for you guys, please enjoy just a little bit of music. And I'm going to play my favorite. Okay. Now then. Oh, thank you for the like already. Okay. What up, everybody? Now, let's get the game started. Now, today what I want to do is actually test a proper endgame build. I have, and I don't mind saying this because, again, I really don't care about rubbing people the wrong way. I've seen a lot of bullshit already being released all over the internet. Now, those of you who know me from Dauntless or who may know me from other games, you know that I do not function on bullshit. I only do one thing, and that is I test and see whether something works in a random situation, not under specific conditions, because you cannot call something a build if it only works under specific conditions or in a coordinated team. Those are not builds, those are literally lies. And that has been happening on other games, and I'm kind of sick of it. So the one thing that I'm known for is my no-nonsense attitude towards that. And again, like I said, I really don't care or give a fuck if I rub people the wrong way when I do this, because if their builds are bullshit, I will call them out. I don't care if they're bigger than me. I don't care if they're awesome. I don't care how many hundreds of thousands of views or hundreds of thousands of fans they have. If it's bullshit, it's bullshit. But what I am going to do is also do my own testing. Now, I am going to work on one of my own... Ooh, I'm going to work on one of my own personal endgame builds for the Psyker. And test it out in combat. Then once I've got a solid clue, I'm going to publish my own endgame build that is actually designed for live combat. So that is what I'm going to work on today. And that is what my day is going to be like. So I hope you guys will join me. First and foremost, okay, I've got my lovely surge staff. Everything is set. Let's go take a look at the limited items, because I'm searching for a very powerful surge force staff, if one ever comes up. I want one that is mastercrafted.
I am pleased to be your guide in this wicked world.
Okay, tomorrow will be another day for that.
How may this humble unit assist you?
Wow, the shop is filled with disappointment. But oh, damn, that stamina one looked really nice, but it's also unnecessary because it's not gonna help me at all. Darn. Okay, now let's take a look at feats. Peril management is nice, but not exactly super helpful anyway, so let's try readjusting. Which may help it overall. The kinetic flare is actually helpful though, which is what I want. Because I like having maxed out brain burst charges. Because that's another very helpful thing. Because this is like trying to, you know, give soul blaze. Will this work well with the Brigadist staff? But even if it does, the issue is that gaining warp charges in that way doesn't actually benefit me though, because I'm still losing out on range. Okay, let's try this first. No sense debating about it. We go try that first. Because if it works, it should work. If it doesn't work, it will fail. And that is acceptable. Okay, I want to go to a... Let's try a T3 with Endless Hordes first. That's probably the first and best place to test this stuff. Because otherwise, it may not be as logical as I want it to be, so... Okay. Let's give it a little taste test, shall we? As I always like to say. Thank you guys for liking the stream. I hope you guys will have a good time.
Right, this one's a kill mission, down in the bowels of the torrent. You're heading to the enforcer station, and it will be fighting all the way. Navigate the sewers, reach the streets, and go knocking on the front door. No need to be fancy.
Oh. I have another doomed soul with me. Okay. Oh, it showed a doomed soul, but I've got 3 bots. Oh, whatever. Doesn't matter to me. We do it our way. Alright. I hope you guys will enjoy the show. This is me trying it out with Endless Hordes. Okay. Said no bullshit test. Okay, I've got 3 brain burst charges already, which is really nice. I swapped off the peril. I swapped off the peril reduction for more damage based on peril, which seems okay so far. Wow. Really? Okay. Okay, this is a failure. I will leave the mission. Okay, so that was no good. In which case, it's proving that no matter what people say, peril reduction, not very helpful. As much as I want it to be, it's really not. Sorry, the increase in damage, as much as I want it to be helpful, it's really not. Because peril reduction is probably a lot more important. That and the endless horde modifier is super annoying. Okay. So we're going back to the previous selection, Inner Tranquility here. Psychic Communion will stay because obviously we want to stack as much as possible. We'll keep Kinetic Flare. Kinetic Overload has potential. Kinetic Barrage might be nice, but no. Okay. Let's try a little further. There's always more to learn, so let's try a little more. Okay, now I want to go into a tier 4 normal. Okay, nothing special about it. Let's go into this tier 4 and give ourselves a test. Still applying the same variant.
That's not a good thing, in case you didn't know. We know which silo the heretics have corrupted, so that's a good place to start. Tertium needs that water, so drive the demon off and hope that fixes the problem.
Wait, did I accidentally... Is this a T5?
Emperor's throne! I don't have a call for that! Beneficent Emperor will find us lacking. Not in any department.
What are these Wazoks doing? Oh, there goes Mr. Southie. This is a great game. But unfortunately, because it's still new, there isn't a lot of information about it yet. But I am a partner for this game. Okay, so you know my quality, Dirty Snow. You know how trustworthy I am when it comes to games. But unfortunately, as with all games, there's always people who want to make bullshit. And that is exactly what I'm trying to prevent by testing my own endgame builds. Because I don't know how some of these people have already like figured out endgame, figured out everything within like 2-3 days of release, unless they played like 48 hours a day. So I really don't believe in what a lot of these people are saying or putting out. But for me right now, what I'm doing is I want to make sure that people actually have good stuff. The game itself is great, but I'm doing a lot of randomized testing as well. And that is exactly why, you know, I'm going in and out of games, testing various things, testing how things function. I may have accidentally gone into a really tough match. Yeah, I knew it. That was a difficulty 5. Okay, my bad. I'm looking for a difficulty 4 mission, one without the endless horde modifier. But sadly there isn't one, so okay, let's start simple. Let's go here. I'm taking on certain particular missions because I want to test my endgame build and see how it feels overall. Like tier 3 is like too easy for my character right now. Tier 4, however, is a bit too hard, so I'm like trying to get that adjustment so that I can effectively advise people who might be playing with randos. Because that, I think, at the end of the day, not everybody's gonna have friends, not everybody's gonna have like a team to always run with. So as much as people wanna, you know, say like, oh, this works in a great team, this works in this and that, it's all bullshit, because at the end of the day, tier 3 and tier 4 have a huge difference. And I think that's why a lot of people, you know, they're falling for the bullshit builds, but at the end of the day, your build has to work, and I'm trying to, you know. See, he's using the Pergatus, which is really nice, but it doesn't have a lot of CC, unfortunately. As you can see, this guy is running the Pergatus staff. It's not helpful in most combat. You don't collect shit and make fun stuff out of it. No, this is a very different type of game. My suggestion is you keep watching. Have you ever played the Vermintide series? You'll probably get a better idea about this game if you have played the Vermintide series. If not, think of it like Left 4 Dead. Alright? It's very similar to that. It has nothing to do with crafting at all. There may be crafting in future, but this is not a crafting type game like Dauntless, no. Nothing to do with that at all, at all. Very different. My suggestion is watch and see what it's all about. The pricing for the game obviously is going to be about the standard price for a video game release. Exactly. That's exactly the case, Kono, and it's also why I am very wary about certain things. I am happily testing so that I know exactly what goes on in certain situations and how these builds are going to work. That's why I'm pushing certain limits, testing certain things. I want to make sure that everything works right. If you played Left 4 Dead, then yes, this is very similar to Left 4 Dead. There are special creatures, things like that, and you and your team, you have equipment. You can find some equipment along the way, but weapon-wise, you have to buy that yourself from the shop. Equip your character, gear up, and then you go for the mission, you see. So it's a bit different from Left 4 Dead in that sense. If you've never played Vermintide, though, this is by the same studio that makes Vermintide. So it is basically Vermintide, but Warhammer 40k version, which is awesome. I'm being very, very careful here about certain things. So for those of you guys that might not know what I'm doing right now, this particular build that I'm running is designed solely around CC. My job is mainly to provide a lot of CC for my team via this particular staff that I'm using, the Surge staff. And what I'm designed to do is dish out lots of damage with that, charge up, and then blast. That's the idea anyway. Whether it's going to be good or not, I don't know, but we're going to see. I think I might go for the Dr. Brain Burst instead, because as cool as this is, it's not as strong as I want it to be. So I'm going to swap it around. Also, one thing that, in terms of the pricing, right? If you want to check what price it is, you can click the link, Dirty Snow, in the description of my video. All right, that is my affiliate link. You can click that and see for yourself what the pricing is like. It's because I don't know what it'll be in your country, but it's 60 Australian dollars, so it's probably less than the price of a AAA game. That's the pre-order price, because right now it's in the pre-order beta. It'll be fully launched on 30th November, but if you have PC Game Pass, or if you're on PC, right, you can play via the PC Game Pass at launch. So if you have that before buying the game, just to save you money, you can do that instead. It might be helpful to do things that way. That way, you know, it doesn't cost you and you can try the game for yourself. Because when it was first released in the pre-order beta, there were a lot of crashes. And in fact, I think there are still crashes going on. But if you limit the frame rate to 60, right? And you play this game on 60 FPS, it does quite well. Like right now, I'm doing quite okay at 60 FPS. And that has been very decent for me. But going beyond that to say 120 and whatever has been a problem. So that is one thing to take into account. Like, the game is great, but it's still fresh and still very new. Okay, come on. Just need a little bit of time. There we go. Oh man, really? The other thing is that when you're downed, you cannot move, sorry, which is a bit annoying, okay? Because you cannot crawl to your teammates or to a safer location. And if you can't do that, then of course it's a little bit difficult to get saved. So your team has to be aware enough to save you properly. There we go. Team saved me well. That, and you have to focus on this little mini game right here. There we go. Well, have you ever played Vermintide, meh? What kind of specs do I have in my computer? I am not very versed in computers, Dirty Snow. Actually, I consult my friends for that kind of stuff. They're the ones who actually tell me what to buy. But what I can tell you is that I'm using an RTX 3080. So anyway, the GPU is the most important. So I hope that information helps at least. But yeah, that is the main thing that is helping me do what I do. Other than that, I've got 32 GB RAM. That I know. Okay, being very careful here.
Have somehow succeeded in zone depletion. Iterative phase nearing completion.
Yeah, no, the crashes are mostly due to the game. That's why we're 60 FPS locked for now. But yeah. And if you haven't played Vermintide 2, then think of this as Left 4 Dead, meh. It's pretty much the same as that. There are certain special enemies that you have to kill, and you have to fight off hordes of enemies. So you have to work with your team. All right, and every character has certain types of abilities that make them stronger. My character is a psychic, is like a wizard. He's got psychic powers. He's called a Psyker. You can check out my video spotlight on the Psyker, the reaction video that I did, to understand a bit of the lore about what Psykers are. In terms of the game fluff, or rather the Warhammer 40k lore, Psykers are basically psychically active individuals, and they draw their power from this place called the Warp. The Warp is a realm filled with frickin' demons. So if you go too ham with the psychic powers, demons can get into your mind. Which is why if you basically, like, you have to manage this resource called peril in this game. And if you don't manage your peril, you explode, which is really bad. So you want to just be very careful about that. And that is effectively what I do with all my lovely attacks. I manage my peril so that I don't unleash too much psychic power that I end up exploding. That would be pretty bad. And that's basically the crux of this game. On the repeaters, if they're good enough to use, of course, if you're using an Asian robot build. If you're not using an Asian robot build, then they will suck. So make sure you're always using an Asian robot build. For any weapon in the game, you wanna use it, make sure you're using an Asian robot build. That's all I can tell you. But yes, please ask Dauntless questions only during Dauntless streams or on Dauntless videos. You can always leave a comment. I will always answer within 24 hours, guaranteed. All right. So yeah, please save questions for Darktide instead. As a Darktide partner, I want to make sure I focus on this game. So yes, if you ever have Dauntless questions, please ask them via comments or on a Dauntless stream whenever I do stream the game. I rarely stream it nowadays because honestly, it's a shit game. But my builds are still fully viable, and the game, although it hasn't received any updates, you can still use any of my repeater builds to kick absolute ass. All right, and I'm so confident in this that you can test any of the other creators' builds and they will fail absolutely compared to what I've got. All right, just so you know. Like I said, I'm so confident that I will openly challenge that. Go test their stuff versus my stuff, and you'll see how much of a failure that stuff is. I'm not taking a break from Dauntless. I just don't stream it very much because Dauntless is shit. They have shit partners, all right? They have a racist partner. The devs don't care about you guys as viewers. So what reason do I have to play the game or even make content for the game when they don't care about you? The only person who cares about you is me, you see? And that's the sad thing. It should not be a situation where one creator is looking after pretty much everybody in the community. That should not be the case, you see? So unless people donate a lot, I am not really going to stream much Dauntless. Like, I'll stream it on Thursdays because I always do that for trials and whatever. So I'm going to stream it tonight. But beyond that, I'm going to limit the time that I spend on Dauntless. Maybe make a couple of videos here and there. But I'm not really going to contribute a lot of stuff anymore. Because, like, there's no point. You know? Like I said, why am I the only one looking after the community when, honest to God, the game is practically dead? There's hardly anybody playing. Nobody cares about it. And the devs themselves don't really release updates. If I was the devs and I wanted my game to be great, I'd be releasing updates every fucking week. You know, I know that's a bit ridiculous, but at the very least, they should give us new content every month. But they're even if they want to claim they're a small studio, they can't bullshit because they have over 200 employees. No, Microsoft would not group with them because they are so shit. Microsoft only groups with games that have good results. No, Dauntless is not worth it. And come on, here's the big thing about Dauntless. No matter how much they try and sell their stupid cosmetics, you do realize that Dauntless themselves, right? They spend the money that you spend on the game on other games that they're developing. Phoenix Labs has a lot of money, FYI. They have over 200 employees employed. All right, do you know that they've got 200 employees employed? Yet they don't release updates at all. for Dauntless. Do you know what they're working on? They're working on their stupid Stardew Valley clone, which is a Nintendo Switch exclusive, and it's only going to be released next year. Whereas in the meantime, every other development company is releasing dozens of games. Also, they blacklisted me from ever being a Dauntless partner for no reason. For no reason. Do you know why? Because one of the partners, who is a racist, who is an open racist, and I've posted proof on my Twitter, he is an open racist. He's proud to be a racist, all right? And he openly said to these people, don't partner this Asian robot guy. And they said, okay. So because they chose not to partner me, I'm now a Darktide partner. I'm partnered with several other games as well that is all up and coming. I'm not going to reveal the details, but just know that several other games have partnered me as well, and I'll be working with them really soon. So why would I spend any time on Dauntless? Like, I have no reason to do so. I'd rather spend my time playing Overwatch, which has been really fun. I would rather spend my time playing stuff like I'd rather spend my time playing all sorts of different things, you know? But I will still play Dauntless occasionally for the community, you know? Like 1 or 2 days, I do stream a little bit of Dauntless, but I'm not gonna spend a lot of hours on it because it's pointless. Like, I'd rather spend my hours on other things. Like Overwatch 2, that is glorious. I love that.
Discovery! Ammunition!
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do the horror game again. Yeah, if you miss my horror streams, right, make sure you guys always check my community posts. So one thing I'll advise you, Meh, is that if you don't know yet, you can always check my community posts, which I post pretty much every day, right? And it'll tell you what I'm doing for that day. So check out that community post, and if I've got upcoming events, upcoming games, I always detail it there, which is really helpful for people to know what I'm doing. And I was playing this horror game. You can check it out. It was called Visage. A viewer sponsored it for me, and I was playing it, and it was really awesome, but super scary. Like, I'm gonna be playing it again maybe next week if I can, but I don't know, because next week I've got to play V Rising. I've also been sponsored for V Rising, so that's also gonna happen. But yeah, no, I'm definitely enjoying what I'm doing right now, Kono, because it gives me a lot of options for what I'm doing. And like I said, there are games like V Rising who want to work with me. There are a lot of games that want to work with me right now, and I enjoy working with them too, because I get opportunities to work on stuff beyond, you know, what I already have. And like I said, all these companies, they give me their games for free to play. Yeah, the game is called Visage. I will link the stream here so you can like put it in your watch later, Meh, after I finish this little mission. We're about the end of this mission right now. I am being very cautious here, though.
I am one with the wall.
Bursters. They're the worst. I'm unleashing a hell of a lot of force lightning. Okay, they've got everything they need. So my character can assassinate people from a long range. That's also one of the greatest benefits of playing the Psyker. But I gotta be careful, because if I go a little too ham, it's probably not healthy. This game will be on Xbox, but not at launch. So one thing which you guys want to know is that it will not be on Xbox at launch. It'll be on PC first. So PC is first, and then after that, Xbox will be done. Oh, come on. Damn it. These guys separated way too much.
Extricate me! Which casualty?
Up too late. Okay, now they have to wait to rescue me. So if you go down, right, the biggest thing is that you have to basically wait until the person spawns in. Yeah, you should, Gloomy J. Make sure to use my code if you haven't bought it already. It is pretty hard with all the multitasking, but again, it depends on like basically how you choose to function in this game. Like if you know your role and you stick with your team, you're all good. But sometimes people go a little Rambo, which they really shouldn't do, because in the case of snipers, you have to figure out where the sniper is. Yeah, the launch is not delayed specifically, but as a Darktide partner, what I'll tell you is that they're working on stability first, because even though this was on PC, there were a lot of crashes when it was first launched during the pre-order beta. So now they need to get it stable first before they actually fully release this thing, and before they allow it to be released for Xbox, because I think it's gonna have more issues if that's the case. There's no medic in this game. No such thing as medic. This game is all hardcore action, so no medic. No such thing as medic. Everybody fights. It just depends on what your role is in combat. A lot of games similar to Left 4 Dead don't have a medic type role, because that would make the game too easy if there was a healer. So yeah, you'll probably end up as a ranged DPS, much like me. I play ranged DPS as well, or rather I'm more similar to a sniper type character. I can kill one character at range, but that requires line of sight. I need to know where they are. If I don't know where they are, then we got a problem. Jagex is okay, but I'll be real with you, Jagex is a really bad company overall, because in terms of the amount of content they've released, Jagex was just really lucky that RuneScape was one of the early popular MMOs. They actually charge way too much for their service, and I actually dislike Jagex intensely. But RuneScape is a timeless classic, and they really got lucky with that one, because nobody can replace RuneScape, you see. But do I like Jagex? No, I do not like them at all as a company. I would never work with them. Frontline, there is that. I'm gonna work on other characters as well, Kono. So I'm gonna work on the Ogren, which is the frontline tank, at some point. Yeah, there's no healers in this game, definitely. So you'd want to stick with long range, kind of like what I've got going. My role in the game is fairly simple, but like I said, I'm not happy with this build. I'm gonna adjust the end game skill, because for me, where my character is having difficulty is their end game skill. So I think that what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna readjust that and
I am one with the wolf!
Empty! Reloading! Rage is dead! Faster! See it!
He was completing a challenge, so he had to ledge. So when he asked for permission to ledge, it was okay because we're all level 30, so all good. Basically he wanted to fall and then we pick him up, so that's why I went forward to serve as a barrier. Because although I'm a range DPS, right? With the right equipment, you can hold your own in melee. I still want to test the other melee item, which is the chainsword. I haven't gotten a chance to find a good one because the shop items are all RNG, so I have to go in there and keep checking the shop occasionally. But yeah, that was the explanation, Kono, for why he did that. What game do I like most over the years? To be honest, I like Vermintide 2, and I'm so happy that Darktide came out because I'm more of a fan of 40k, Warhammer 40k, than I am of Vermintide, which is Warhammer Fantasy. And that's why I was like, you know what? I'm going to try out Darktide, and I got into the partner program, and I haven't looked back ever since. It's been really awesome to be a partner for this game. Now, let's go see if there's any new equipment. No, there isn't. So the shop refreshes every so often. Now I've got to wait 44 minutes for the next refresh because I'm trying to gear up and get like maxed out stuff, but obviously it's not easy. Now we're gonna adjust the build a little bit because I'm really not happy with how this build worked. What I'm going to test next is I am going to go back to my quench build, which I think is okay, rather than a kill build. All right, the inner tranquility is good. Psychic communion is good. All right. Now, of course, I could use Psykinetics Aura, which would be really nice, but I like having a warp charge gain because that's too important. This is all not important. Rather than Kinetic Flare, which I am not really having a lot of potential from, I might try out... yeah, I might try Kinetic Barrage, and let's try out Warp Battery. Because Kinetic Flare is really nice, not gonna lie, but Warp Battery might be better. I don't know. I'll see how I feel in both cases. Actually, you know what? Let's change one thing at a time. Let's test out the Kinetic Barrage with the Kinetic Flare first. What's a better build? Depends yet, Gloomy J. I don't know because the game is just released. My suggestion is if you want to play this game and you want to rely on Asian robot builds, please wait until you know, I have the opportunity to really test out everything, because until that time I cannot particularly advise you, because if I did that I would literally be lying to you, and you know me, I do not lie, and it is one of the things that I am very much against. So again, if you're okay with it, I suggest waiting and seeing, you know. It really depends on your playstyle, so you have to be very careful with what you want to do and what you want to achieve. Well, Zay works, no problem. I'm going into mission, so just pay attention to what I'm doing. Everything in this game is flashy, but you just got to pay attention to what I'm doing. So my suggestion is, if it's your first time watching Darktide, come and have a look-see. Come and see what it's really about, because Darktide is amazing, but you got to get into it. You got to get into it. You got to know all the stuff about it. Unlike Dauntless, this is not a game where you just pop in and play. No, there's a lot of lore behind it. There's a lot to understand. There's a lot to learn. The link is, if you look in the description of the video, my affiliate link is right there. Unless you're talking about the horror game link. The horror game link, I will post it. No problem. I just gotta search for the vid. There it is. Here, you can put it in your watch later and have fun with it. It's pretty good. The link to purchase this game is in the description of this video, so make sure you check that out. But yeah, that's the link to my horror stream. You can check it out later. It was a fun 4 hours of me getting the shit scared out of me. Yeah, I posted it already. There's some stream delay, so you might want to check that your your seat bar is at the end so that you're hearing me in close to real time. Yeah, no worries, I got it for him. Okay, let's go. So I've got nothing but bots with me on this one. I don't know if I'm gonna survive, but I'm gonna try.
Watch yourselves. The legs hold thinly in this place.
Make for the Ragged King's court. You can reach the streets from there.
I love, like, to be honest, Dirty Snow, the Dauntless community is great. Like, a lot, like 90% of the players are nice. It's just the 10% of assholes on Reddit and the creators and partners who are complete assholes. Like, they are the worst of the worst. Anyone who makes the videos for Dauntless other than me is a major asshole, and I've just seen that time and time again, and I just don't like it, you know? I just think it's really, really bad of them to behave like that and to be, you know, that way. Like right now what I'm doing is I'm brain bursting. I can pop the heads off of most creatures. Like sometimes the specials can really come in really weird ways, so you gotta be a bit careful about that. Like I'm playing Endless Horde. So Endless Horde is a type of modifier in this game where, okay, you're gonna get additional rewards, which is awesome, but the enemies are gonna be a lot stronger and they can go ham like this guy. So you gotta be very, very careful in Endless Horde mode because everything is dangerous to you. Even the smallest creature can go totally ham. And actually, that's why I love Endless Horde mode. It's awesome. But I'm still not happy with the kinetic flare thing.
Pilgrims to war.
Okay, anyway, we got a horde incoming. Okay, my character is mostly about crowd control right now, so that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm unleashing a lot of crowd control. This is why you gotta stick together very, very tightly. People die very easily. Staves are unique to the Psyker, yes. Zayworks, please do not mention any other creators. If you do, I'll have to remove you from my channel. None of the other creators are trustworthy at all. Alright. Dauntless is gonna get dry, but if you mention that guy, you do realize he fakes all his views, right? Just saying. I'm just gonna remove that message because it's no good. Alright, don't mention them because, look, if he really had the viewership that he has, I'll just be real with you. If he really has that kind of viewership, he should be making 10 times my income because he's got 10 times my viewership. How come he doesn't? How come he's not streaming Dauntless 8 hours per day? Because he should be. He'd be making a lot of money. He'd be making 10,000 per month. By the way, that's an estimate of 10 times my income. So why isn't he doing that? I'll tell you why. It's because he pays for viewership. A lot of people pay for viewership. And that's why I don't trust anybody. You can go and check it for yourself. There's a website called Social Blade that shows viewer stats and everything. So you can go check that website and see for yourself the truth. That's why I don't discuss any of the other creators, and I do not discuss anybody who is related to Dauntless. I find them to be absolute dillweeds. Yeah, listen, Diablo 3 is a decent game. Nothing wrong with it.
Engaging war protocols.
Oh, come on. Why is that guy just standing there?
May all our kills be as swift. Psyker! Get up!
The class system, there are 4 classes. And the Psyker is the range damage dealer of the lot. Well, he's the other range damage dealer. There's 2 range damage dealers, 2 melee. Everybody has range weapons, of course, even the melee damage dealers, FYI. Every class is quite balanced, but they all have different specialties. Like the Psyker, my role is very simple. I'm the guy that fucks shit up at range, but I am more of a sniper type character. The veteran sharpshooter is more like, okay, I fuck shit up at range, but I'm also good at just dealing overall range damage. They're the DPS. I'm more of a sniper. In terms of the melee, there's the Berserker, which is known as the Zealot, and also the Ogryn, which is a tank. But yeah. I plan on playing all the classes, so eventually I'll be able to show them all to you, but I want to finish one first because I'm that type of guy. I always try and finish one.
Scriptures.
Better back! This way! Straight down!
Okay, they're gonna try and rescue this guy. Now, if you die in this game, you have to be rescued by your teammates. That's the only way to move forward. So if you don't get rescued, well, that's a GG for you. Nice, nice. Enjoy your paragonness. Listen, as long as you're having fun, play whatever you like. Games are all about having fun. I love games like this, though. Games like this are my lifeblood. But yeah, I love the class system and the fact that compared to Vermintide, now, again, I don't know how many of you have played Vermintide, whoops. But one awesome thing about this that I like better than Vermintide is that 2 people can be the same class and like there's no trouble with that. In Vermintide, only one person could be one thing, and that was problematic. You see, I didn't like that so much because it made things a bit difficult. Because if somebody else was playing like Bardin, the dwarf engineer, then I couldn't play Bardin, you know? And like, what if I had something awesome that I wanted to test and showcase, you know? So it made things problematic. But here, like, everybody can play a Psyker if you want. It may not be the ideal team. Like, the ideal team is one of every class. But, like, technically speaking, if you wanted to, you could all be Psykers. Like, everybody could be a fucking Psyker. And it gets kind of hilarious watching that shit happen as well. You know, just seeing everybody go absolutely ham together is pretty awesome. Also, like I said, the most important thing here is that everybody can do everything. So you have to know melee combat even if you're a Psyker. You have to understand like how to stay alive in melee, things like that. You can't just focus on range and expect people to protect you. Definitely 200% does not work that way. Also, some weapons really outperform compared to others. So a lot of people like to use those very frequently. Oh shit. This is a crusher. Big honky tonky dude. Very, very dangerous in combat. Oh, damn. Poxburster. Hawks bursters are very dangerous, but unfortunately that's just how things go. Sometimes you have to be a bit smart with how you do things. Especially in Endless Horde mode. Whew. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Diablo 4. I think it'll be quite awesome to play some of that. I'm hoping someone will sponsor it for me. Or that I can become a partner for that game as well. Like, not gonna lie, that would be awesome. Like, all day, every day, bro. But honestly, Darktide has a lot of growth potential. Because Vermintide 2 had like multiple classes, things like that. Like, I see in Darktide a lot of that potential. Oh shit. They've got 2 fucking snipers. Oh man. 2 fucking snipers. The problem is that the snipers are across the bridge, so these guys have to be very, very careful. Yeah, the range balancing for some of the enemies in Endless Horde mode. So right now, like, I'm gonna try and avoid Endless Horde mode because it's just impossible to handle like 2-3 snipers coming in at once. So the modifier is pretty bad. Yeah, no, looks like we're down. Oh. Yeah, Endless Horde is honestly bad. Okay, so I'm gonna completely avoid the Endless Horde mode. Because although it's like, you know, like, although it's interesting way of playing, I think it's just really bad. What kind of classes do you often pick? Whenever I play an RPG, I usually pick a caster class. I'm usually always a ranged class first, then I pick everything else. So for me, Average Joe, I picked the Psyker because I was the most interested in the psychic powers. Now, as a Warhammer 40k fan, I've been really interested in like Psykers, all that kind of stuff. So when I got the chance to actually play as a Psyker, you know, it was pretty awesome. Yeah. All right, let's go. Let's go check on equipment first. All right, so this build is interesting, but it's not as potent as I want it to be. So in order to really enjoy it, I'm gonna swap off from kinetic flare and go for warp battery instead. Might be better because as much as I love my attacks brain bursting people, it's more of a luxury than anything. So okay, let's go test this build in T3 again. We'll just go to the Magistrati Oubliette. There are multiple different maps, multiple different objectives, you know.
Right, we've got another
It can be pretty fun.
for you down in the torrent. This particular heretic's dug into the enforcer station like a swamp chick. You'll be going in through the
All right.
sewers, so I hope you've got watertight
Let's go
roads.
kick some ash. Oh. All right, seems I joined a game midway. All right. Eager to test this. They've got 1 bot, 2 actual humans. Good enough. Okay, that sound is a scab bomber. As you can see, I'm also being very calm about how I regenerate my toughness. I might swap back to the because killing might be better than quelling, especially if I'm running this sort of build. Like, I can foresee it working really well, so I'm gonna probably go with something like that. I can see the Soul Blaze build working well with the Purgatus staff, but yeah, Brain Burst. I think having 6 warp charges is quite insanely good. It just gives a whole nother dimension. Yeah, no, this is ideal. This is the right build for me. That, and it also enhances a lot of my other abilities as well, which I really like. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Oh well.
Ah, the dog's dead.
Looks like you've reached the enforcer station.
Yes. You can indeed. Which is one of my favorite things to do, actually. Now I'm taking advantage of the Kinetic Slayer to fast charge. Kind of feels like Borderlands. I mean, there's a lot of games that this can be compared to. Like I said, the most accurate comparison is obviously, like I said, Left 4 Dead, unless you've played Vermintide 2 and know enough about that. Vermintide 2 is obviously the most accurate, sorry. Left 4 Dead 2 is a close second. But there's a lot of games that you can think of it as being like similar to. So you wouldn't be wrong in a lot of your interpretations. By the way, sticking close to your team is very important. Why? Because there's a lot of buffs. Like, for example, one of the important buffs is that I give all my teammates 10% damage as long as they're next to me, which is very important. Toward endgame, that is one of the things that basically keeps you very alive. So you want to be very careful with that kind of stuff. If you're too far from your teammates, they're not benefiting, you're not benefiting, it becomes a bad situation. Uh-oh. I'm having to be very careful here because sometimes mini bosses will spawn as well. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have an actual range. It just does a set amount of damage. So certain creatures, right, they have HP limits, and I detailed this in a video called the threat levels. Different threat levels have different HP modifiers for your enemies, and in certain threat levels you can use the brain burst to one shot, but in other threat levels you need about 2 or 3 brain bursts to kill a character. But either way, it's still highly effective. It's very useful. Is there a campaign? Technically, no. There is a storyline in the game, but no strict campaigns. Because think of it this way. You guys are actually, like, in this game, right? You play as these rejects. You're effectively a prisoner that's been given a chance of redemption, and that's basically what you do. And that's why it's so important to understand the lore behind this. You see, you're just dropped in for these missions because your job is basically you're a suicide squad. If you come back alive, good, you can go for another mission. If you don't come back alive, it's no loss to these guys, right? They don't care whether you live or die. So your job is to go on these missions and survive as best you can. Because, I mean, I'm sure that you don't want to be treated as expendable, right? So that is basically the entirety of your existence here, which I think is like, it just makes for a cool storyline. But because there's no like solid campaign storyline, it's pretty fun to just experience it your way. Like, you never know what missions you're gonna get sent on. But think of it this way: you're just one of many rejects. Your duty is to go in there and like do the best you can. You know, try to survive. Try your best to survive, and you know, be the best that you can. Yep, it is survival of the fittest, and that's what makes it so crazy. I fucking love it. You know, we're all just these guys trying to survive. All right, you don't know who your squad mates, what kind of squad mates you're gonna get. You don't know who's gonna be on your team. All you know is that, look, this is what I got. I gotta make the best of this, and that's all you do. And I love it. I absolutely love it because it makes it fun and very interesting. Honestly. It just makes it so that you guys can experience the game your way, and in a twisted sense, it lets you you know, choose your own story. You know, you want to be a sharpshooter, you want to be a big gigantic ogre tank. You know, it's up to you, man. But yeah, it's fun, and I just love it. Like, I find games like this super interesting. And Zay, I hope you're enjoying the gameplay, because yeah, this is it. I'm gonna test out a few other builds like at some point, but I think this is pretty close to the end game build that I've been wanting for a while. Like, this makes the most sense to me in terms of end game builds. This guy is using a particular staff called a trauma staff. It can explode a particular area. It's pretty cool. Now this guy is the big boss. This is also where the tune that you'll sometimes hear on my videos will come from. There's people who are really good, and then there's people who are bad but try, and then there's people who just stand there. That accurately describes a lot of this, unfortunately. There's a lot of people who do end up just standing there, which is really not conducive to good gameplay, realistically speaking. Okay, now that I have tested this out and I have a more or less a general idea of what I want, okay, I'm kind of happy with it. The kinetic flare is nice toward the end. I don't like expending the warp charges, so I think the only thing I'm gonna alter is that I'm gonna alter the regain toughness on death, on kill, because that makes way more sense to me. Quietude is nice, but it's not enough. And the 6 warp charges are the superior build because I can basically get extra toughness, which I really, really want. So I'm gonna go test this out now in tier 4. See if I can survive that. Oh, wow! Nothing. Let me go see where the shitty gear that I got is. Yeah, there it is. Let's dump that shit. Because we don't need no shitty gear. I'm still waiting on a chain sword so I can show you guys a different style of gameplay, but I'll wait on that one. Do we have any level 4s that are not fucking Endless Horde corrupted? Oh, there is one. Let's try. Let's try some tier 4 gameplay and see if I can survive. If I cannot survive, then I will cry. And y'all are gonna see a grown-ass man be upset and be all like, why? Why?
Find the mother load at the Chasm Station Logistrata. Assuming you can get inside, you should have your pick of the scab supplies. Valkyries will handle cargo duty.
Ooh. Whoa. Going into the thick of it.
I may not endure this.
Tell me I'm down! Help me off! Anyone here? Need a post bag! Okay, the last.
Oh my god, what? Dude, this situation is so bad.
They've got me! Requesting aid! Stop letting the side die.
Okay, well, yeah, I know, right? I hate starting like, okay, so the reason why things can get pretty bad, and I'm just gonna explain this, is because when it comes to tier 4, okay, tier 4 is different from tier 3 entirely, because not only are the enemies even stronger in tier 4, in tier 4, everybody has 1 less wound. So what are wounds? Wounds are basically the amount of times you can get downed in a match before you are completely killed. So you cannot go down. It's very important that you avoid that. And in these types of matches, unfortunately, you need to be very, very careful, because in tier 4, wounds are, you have 1 less wound. So if you're not using a curio, which is an artifact, right, that'll basically help you avoid the whole you know, I'm about to get ripped kind of dealio. Well, yeah. Oh. Oh, I can finally get my hood if I do all this. Mind over matter. Cliffhanger, not even close. Oh, okay. So that's how you unlock stuff. Oh, cool. I was wondering why everyone was doing those kinds of weird things, but yeah. All right. Let's get back to it. I want to master T4 first. Okay. I'm going to try again. That mission was a failure, but we can try again. So like I said, tier 4, very difficult because 1 less wound and everybody has to know their role really well. So I'm going to try and get into a match. Oh shit. You guys are trying again, aren't they? Well, don't forget to like the stream, you nerds. Let's go. Give this a taste. Oh man.
How many of you actually know what protocol means?
Protocol is the only reason I be suffering ye to live, freak.
The Reaper gunners are done. Jesus Christ, I walk into a match, I'm already like half dead. This is fun. This sure is fun. But I'll do my best to survive until we get to a Medicare station. And guess what? This is only like literally the start of the match. So I'll thank ye, but no thank ye.
Engaging war protocols!
Locked in! Oh,
I suspect our Militarum comrades never encountered the Commissar, given they're still alive.
Commissars in the Canadians either heard of that or broke. This commissar here now.
Press on through the Rebecca's quarter. You'll be in the station soon enough.
It pains me to see the station like this, full of absence.
Charge. Oh. Please, dear God, I'm taking that. Now I'm allowed to finally be normal. I know, right? I love these one-liners as well in this game. It's pretty fun.
Barrels overloading!
Okay.
Need ye a grenade?
Okay, you sniped that gunner. Nice.
Enforcers watch the people. The RBTs watch the enforcers. Who watches the Inquisition?
Pick your way through the rubble and find a way down to maintenance.
Sunhold confirmed down! Got a good feeling about this shot. Yes, let's go there! Losing two guys on that!
The house is neutralized!
Hurry, you need to get up!
Hey! Over here! Help!
Where is the Medicaid?
That's a critical injury!
Come on, Zealot! Get up!
Death waits. And glory, perhaps, but mostly death.
Enemy shooters in cover! Such power!
Move in this way!
Hostile sniper!
You're heading downwards. It's a
Got him.
big old
Phew.
fox, so watch your footing.
No problem, my dude. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you enjoy the show. Oh my god.
Maintenance access is sealed. Use your
All right.
interrogator to fix that.
Sniper!
Oh, thank God he's dead. Hello, Darius. What's up, my man?
Data inbound.
Oh, my lord.
Defend.
Request acknowledged, veteran! Reaching into the wall!
Do not disrupt the flow of data again.
Oh, come on. Oh.
Engaging war protocol!
Oh, man.
Data flow resuming. No interruptions. On the side of phase.
I'm to die. I will make it count.
You best stop that.
Scab gunner!
Interrogator refuses to work. Recommence.
Do these guys not have grenades?
Right, now do better. Take that cover and fire.
We hear you, roughneck!
Jesus.
Process failure. Reapply. This time pay more attention. Data link back online. You are not a complete failure. Well done, I suppose. Data interrogation imminent.
Engaging war protocols!
Security bypass. Pressure door will comply.
Good shot.
Okay, managed to get them all here. T4 is no joke. You really got to stick together, so I'm following the tank. The other problem is that players are always looking... Oh, shh. Players always look forward, never back. It's a bit of a problem. Because sometimes it's the back that you have to worry about. And they're always creatures at the back. And really, they shouldn't be leaving teammates behind. Like, I get that they want to move forward, but sometimes doing so, very, very bad idea. Hey, Imagine Kai, good to see you. God.
Enforcers! Don't leave comrades behind! Keep going, freak. No rest for the wicked. You surprise me, Zealot.
Empresses and strength in ignorance. A very strong. Each other! Burn them out! 78. The bully dies.
Indeed. And is this how it ends?
Better make you dead.
Restorative dedicate!
Oh shit, that dude crashed. Come on.
How many voices? The trapper is dead!
At the moment, no, I don't have any time for phone games. I was playing them like when I was at my aunt's place, but mostly because I couldn't stream at that time. A lot of phone games these days require like specific time investment. Like there's times where you need to log into the game, do all that kind of stuff, and I just don't enjoy that because I don't feel that it is good at all, you know?
Who has no news?
That's the only thing.
catacombs!
Rot it. Dog them.
You want to be on the supply track. That's where you'll find Logistratum access.
Run outside!
No! Out of my mind! The voices! The voices!
So much for your trapper!
This is how it's done.
Survived.
No point in arguing. Down's the
Yeah,
only
listen,
way
if
onward.
you enjoyed for the social aspect, totally cool. There's a lot of people that play those types of games solely for the social aspect, which again, nothing wrong, you know? I feel that that's totally an important part of why these types of things were popular in the first place, you know? Because people liked the social aspect. People liked, you know, having communities that they could participate in and join up, and that seemed very, very important.
The abomination is no more!
So I respect that, because for a lot of folks that was, you know, in fact for a time I also played one of those types of games, and like the mobile family was my family, you know. They were a huge part of like why I would, you know, go through my days and stuff like that, you know. And it was just interesting to see all that and to be a part of that. But now I guess as a content creator, most of my time is always taken up by videos, things like that, and I can't really invest as much time as I would normally into games like that, which is the only downside, I guess. Because it does require significant time investments.
I'd take to those woods when I you.
Initiating crowd control!
Survive the heretic! If a job's worth doing, it's worth dying.
Ooh, I love my kinetic flare.
But that's hardly a sustainable approach. Take heed! Bomber!
Man, I hate them bombers. Shit.
Empty. Reloading now.
Oh, come on. Oh, for fuck's sake. The mauler. This guy went too ham. This is why, like, at tier 4, you cannot separate too much. Like, the second you separate too much, you will get ripped.
How many
I'm gonna try and brain burst them all.
You've endured worse,
Okay.
I'm sure.
Do not touch me!
You're up, buddy.
Talking there!
Oh yeah, sure. Thank you for that. I wish I had time for that though. Like legit, like I would love to be able to kill time, but I actually cannot because like I guess right now my YouTube channel is a lot smaller than others, so I have to really focus on making sure that I really do the very best that I can right now, and make sure that I really make use of this time. But oh my god, I think I'm about to complete a tier 4 mission, guys. I'm so excited. I am so excited. Like this is the first time completing a tier 4 mission for me.
Displeasing enemy advantage.
We triumph in the God Emperor's name.
Excessive force authorized.
Just need a little moment. Charge up. Sometimes even seconds matter, so it can be very annoying to really manage your resources well.
Hold fast. We'll see them off.
Fight your side! Neutralize
You leave me no choice.
By the sea. By Papa. The hunt is no more.
Initiating crowd control.
Cover me.
Zealot requests cover.
Perish, mutant.
Excessive force authorized.
One. Simple enough.
Yeah, I gotta meet up with the rest.
Neutralize the Ranger! Get your gun off!
Out of my mind.
Get ready! Hound incoming!
Trapper's dead.
Oh my lord. Sorry guys, I'll answer chat in a second. I am suffering right now.
Suppressing fire on the enemy!
Request acknowledged, veterans!
Kill shot looking for a skull.
Calling the war! God, Emperor, will you look at that?
Crap. This ain't good.
The trapper is dead! Good. Medicate for you! Trapper eliminated! Yes! Yes! Flow through me!
My god.
They've got me!
Why did they just abandon the position?
Behind!
That I don't understand. Whoop, I'm dead. It was a nasty crunch. I do wish that, but that's okay. Like honestly, they'll get away with this, so it's okay if they don't rescue me. They've done it. My sacrifice up there was worth it. Oh, my first T4. It can be done. It can be done. I like it. Like the melee classes are strong, but it does take a lot of coordination. Like we really got that one done because it was a team of 4. And that was solid. That was solid. Honest to God, though, I can see why certain situations may be considered difficult, especially in a team of 4. If people are not like hyper aware or stuff like that. I am gonna check though because now that I've messed around with this build, a trauma staff, that's okay. 15% toughness and damage reduction for snipers.
How may I serve?
The max stamina weapon one. It's only a tiny increase, but I think I'll take it anyway because why not?
Completed.
I wish the shop had better items, but meh. The current stamina one. The little extra bit of toughness is nice, but not enough. Extra stam is always good. Okay. Now, I know my build works well enough for T4. So this is going to be my T4 build. I'm just going to screenshot it and then do a little, just so I can remember it. Because I'm going to test something else now. T4 build, Psyker. Oh yeah. Now the next thing to test is equip Pergatus staff. And then we take a totally different style. And this different style is going to be all about the Soul Blaze. Let's see if this will work better. I don't know if it will, but I'm gonna try. I think this should work. Let's test it. We'll go T3 first, just to get a real taste of this. This is now gonna be all about the Pergatus. So I want to see like what can work, what cannot work, and that's gonna be my thing. Oh. Hey. I can't see my things. Okay.
The heretics have seized Chasm Terminus. Let's make that work for us. Access the station's auto-scheduler, and you can redirect a train. And its arch-heretic passenger. That passenger is vital to the enemy's battle plans. Take them out.
Okay, let's go. Crashed instantly. This is the first crash I've had all this time. Why? Okay, I'm going to, there are some talents that I can cause crashes, and I do know that. So I'm very interested to see, you know, what happened there. Cause, that's weird. In the creator Discord, they were talking about some specific talent traits causing crashes. Maybe there are still more that have not yet been discovered that are causing that. It could be like it could potentially be a thing, so I'm just gonna be very, very cautious about that, because I do foresee that maybe some things are causing issues in that manner. I'm gonna just, you know, keep eye on things. Hey, what up, ladies and gents? Welcome to another video by the Asian Robot. My own video triggered.
us. Access the station's auto-scheduler, and you can redirect a train and its arch-heretic passenger. That passenger is vital to the enemy's battle plans. Take them out.
I love the crashes. All right.
And a Russian there.
Our most valuable currency. I hope I've earned yours.
No action can compensate for the curse of your freakish nature.
The dead are singing to me.
Medicaid station.
Yeah, okay, I definitely still need the, I'm gonna use the, like, the increase in force staff damage, pretty much useless. So, I'm gonna swap out that talent, because that talent is trashed here.
You leave me no choice.
You're the maintenance bay? Hurry up or you'll miss the target.
Filthy hound.
The hound is dead. Get out of my head.
We are answered! On to the Psyker! Very impressive!
Amsterdam, Starker.
The hound is dead. How must the missionaries Galaxia feel arriving on an isolated world? No idea if they'll find hope or horrors.
I persist, spreading Emperor's word with business.
I'm sure missionaries are a welcome sight. Unless you're a mutant, non-believer, or alien. Over there!
Like, for some weird reason, I'm gaining the soul charges so slowly that, I think the peril thing is the most important, because all of this other stuff really is not at all working out. Possibly because other people are getting the kills, because I only gain if, like, they die from the soul blaze. It means that soul blaze not exactly conducive or effective. This makes Pergatus builds bad. I knew I wasn't wrong. Like, I had a moment of doubt. like thinking maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm the one who's wrong. But then I realized, nope, not the case at all.
We should avail ourselves of that med station.
Should they can swallow it all? Come! There he is!
Data inbound. Continue. Defend.
Reaching into the wall! They're charging!
Intelligence are not responding. Manual override required. You have successfully reconnected. Now maintain connection.
What type of game is this? You not know? This is Darktide. If you haven't played Vermintide 2, then think of this as similar to Left 4 Dead. I'm a Darktide partner, Theo. So in case you didn't know, this is the new game that I'm partnered with. It is very excellent. It is currently in pre-order beta, but it will obviously be fully released on the 30th of November. Great game overall, honestly. There are a few crash issues, but they're resolving all of them. And right now what I'm doing is I'm working on the builds that I want.
We got the Ranger!
Never eat too much.
If you didn't have the constitution of a rampant grubs, that would have been a terminal error. The machine fire with that son! Request immediate cover!
Must rest. Must rest.
Oh, come on. What the hell?
Hey, beauty, Ellie! Go in here.
For God's sake.
It's dead.
We've killed the Ranger. Killing it was kindness, really.
There you go.
Interrogation approaching completion.
Well, this is your chance to see something new, buddy. This is Darktide. I am basically playing as this psychic guy, right? There are 4 classes. I'm playing the psychic. My job and my ability is crowd control. I deal a lot of damage to crowds, and I burn them all like that. Pretty fun stuff.
Strengthen my mind against
But I'm trying out different builds and stuff, like right now, to see what is best for my team.
There's no need for alarm, associates.
There are aspects that are better, there are aspects that are worse, but don't forget, this is a new release. It's by the same studio, Nerd Gaming. So, obviously Fat Shark, they've had years to work on, Vermintide, whereas this is a new release. And everything is different because of the way their classes are structured. See, in Vermintide, you could only have one of every character because they are specific characters. Here, you play as your own, like you play as a class rather than a character. So you could have 4 of the same type of person. Like in this mission, we've got 1 preacher, 2 psychers, I'm a psyker, and 1 Ogren. The Ogren is the tank. So in this particular case, right, I have to, like, we have more sniping power, obviously, with 2 psychers, but we have less overall, we have less like close combat capabilities, you see, so it works like that. it's different because it is not what you would get in Vermintide. It is a different experience. And I think that that is what makes it unique, but also something that could, in a way, be considered a bit difficult for players to adapt to. Here, teamwork is super, super important. I mean, of course, it was the same way in Vermintide too. But in this game, it's even more important because of the fact that you can have multiples of the same class. In which case, you might have some very weird teams that are skewed toward one aspect over all others. So you have to be a bit aware of that. And also acknowledge the fact that your team might have weaknesses, strengths that you may not particularly be aware of. And that can sometimes, you know, create some difficulties. I'm being very careful. Hey, Turtle Love. I'm being very, very careful of how I structure my stuff right now.
We can't reach them!
Damn. The other downside is that this particular build relies on damage over time. Well, if you have Vermintide 2, you should be playing it. Literally one of the greatest games of the century.
Consumed him.
Maybe like Ogre. Just need more rations.
I'm being very, very careful with this. Carry this. The gaming's going okay. Not getting much cover, but
It should reach out.
you know what? Everybody's kind of going Rambo.
Face my incompatible. That's the mutiny ended.
But that's how it is. Oh. Lord.
On! The God Emperor guides me!
I am gonna have to rework this build a bit. I think it has potential. It just needs a little bit of work.
How'd you like this now?
End that bastard!
No, because when you go into tier 4, right, the biggest thing is that you have to be covering for your teammates. The second you don't do that, that's a GG. But also, I kind of blame myself for this one because this particular build is not very good at what it's supposed to do. Like, I've seen a couple of guys like touting their builds and saying, oh, this build's great. But actually, much like with Dauntless in this game, I think a lot of players just don't actually have the experience to even do the builds just yet because the game is so new that if they're saying that this is the best build or whatever, it's like a game journalist build. I played on difficulty 2 or something, you know, because a lot of the stuff will not work at the higher levels. That's the problem. And I'm not too happy with that because the one thing that I can't stand, and you know it, is fake information. So right now I'm trying out some of the so-called builds for this game and seeing whether or not they really work. And I can tell you right now that they are not very good. Yeah, no, I've got an actual build that I will post as an endgame build because that one I've actually tested up to T4 with randoms. And I know 100% that it works because it is highly effective. But this so-called fire build these guys came up with is trashed here. Like, it is literally the worst thing I've ever seen. Maybe with a little bit of work it could come out good, but honestly I don't see any of it being decent at all because it just has no like synergy at all. So I'm gonna modify it, see if I can make it work. If I can't, then I'll go back to my own stuff, which would make a lot more sense. Like, it's probably good for boss killing, but if it's only for that one specific purpose, then that's not a sign of a good build. A good build needs to work in all circumstances. And even right now, right? Because players don't take care of hordes quickly, like with this build, it's pretty hard to actually like do anything because there's no CC in it. That's the problem. That's what I don't like. The fact that it doesn't have enough CC. Like, I really want this build to be good, but I can tell you here and now that it is on a scale of really bad. It's really bad. Yep, no. This Purgatus really sucks. It is terrible. No, a build cannot function, Turtle Dove, on comms and teammates, you see, because 95% of players that you're going to encounter are completely playing alone or with randos. If a build functions on the basis of I need comms and teammates, then that's not an effective build at all. You see, that is a shit trash tier build. The same principle that I apply to this game is the same principle I apply to Dauntless. A build must function totally independent of all factors. Meaning that if I was thrown into a situation today and I use this build, I need to be able to completely devastate all my opponents. That is the sign of a build that works. If a build cannot do that, then the build is a failure. You see, it's a complete failure. Right now, what we have, right, is that staff damage totally out of whack. So I would say that is completely useless. Psychic Communion is 100% necessary. All right. Cooldowns are not helpful anyway. Maximum warp charges is okay. And this one is completely useless. So, like this, I like. This is okay. 6 charges is very nice. Because I can foresee like a mixed Soul Blaze type build going on. Like I can foresee that there's a lot of potential there. But the Ascendant Blaze is totally worthless because the enemies have to be killed by a Soul Blaze effect, which is not useful at all. And that disappoints me because I really want this staff to be good, but I'm just not seeing any potential for it at all. I'm gonna try this as a modification now, because I definitely don't want the Ascendant Blaze. I want the Kinetic Barrage. That is way more useful because I don't want my warp charges to go away. And that makes more sense to me. So now that I can see that, okay. Hang on, talking in the creator Discord for a second. Okay, let me see. Where can I go now? If there's a level 3 mission, okay, this one looks alright. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna keep trying the level 3s because I need to see whether or not this can be made viable the Asian robot way, you know? Exactly. And like, I think a lot of creators are also like, they always say that, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but are they really? You see, this is the problem that I have with a lot of people, because there is always a variance in skill levels. There is a huge variance in skill levels that many people, I think, don't take into account. That, I think, is what makes life very difficult for a lot of folks, because it's kind of wild, you know, when you have this kind of situation going on. That's why I must make sure that anything that I do, anything that I bring out to people, must also have the same level of viability, you know?
Cryonic rods can flush the system. You'll find some in the control room. They're strictly for emergencies, but I reckon this qualifies, don't you?
The Psyker is awesome, Lady Kibble, but they only get strong around level 15. To be honest, like once you get your force staff and a lot of your feats, the Psyker can get strong. Like the endgame build that I'm gonna release, Lady Kibble, with the Surge staff is absolutely devastating. I can handle T4 with randos, which is saying something because I don't have a lot of my golden gear yet. I don't even have a single piece of golden gear. So that build works. But I think that for the majority of players, unless you get the right equipment, and because you have to literally pray to the Emperor to get something good, it can be difficult to play the Psyker. I'm not gonna lie, the Psyker class is a bit underpowered. And that is me as a Psyker main saying it. It's a bit underpowered because unless you really know absolutely everything that you're doing, life is hard. Like even now, right, I'm running this Pergatus build and seeing whether or not it has any viability. It might, but I still have to be very aware of whether or not it's gonna work properly. So, okay, now I'm swapping to oh man, these guys just rip through them. Okay, well, it doesn't matter, it's still okay. These guys are all ripping through stuff with their force weapons. Too easy, I guess. I will be doing a newbie guide, but I'm gonna wait until full launch. If you guys want to look into that, the reason I'm doing that is because obviously there may be changes up until launch, and at that point I will actually start a new Psyker just to show people how to play until level 10. And all that stuff. So if you're willing to wait, then that is the best way. But if you're not willing to wait, what I'll tell you is that the best way to play until level 10 is find yourself a good gun. All right. And in fact, okay, tell you what, I'll release a guide this weekend on that. I cannot release it so soon because it will obviously require time investment. I will try and get it done this weekend ASAP. But yeah, basically, if you're really keen on playing the Psyker, right, you want to get very good with your brain burst, and you probably want to stay in difficulty 1 and 2. You might want to stay in difficulty 2. That's the ideal, up until level 10 at least. And don't try difficulty 3 yet. My recommendation is stay in difficulty 2 up to level 15, in fact. Try and just keep upgrading your gear, get the best gun, get the best sword that you can. You might want to focus on the Katakan Devil Claw, because that one seems the best for early game. And just abuse that as well as your brain burst. Like focus on using your brain burst mostly as an elite wipeout mechanic, because once you get your coherency buff where you start being able to abuse the whole, oh, if somebody else kills, I get a charge. Like once you can abuse that, life is good. When you cannot abuse that, then life is not so good, you know? So like right now, I'm able to utilize a little bit of a abusive mechanic on this, whereby I am reducing my peril, and at the same time, every time I get a chance to brain burst somebody, you know, or an elite is killed, we get to apply, or whenever we gain a warp charge, we get to apply additional soul burn stacks to other people, which is really, really quite cool. Like this I think can work. Like this modified build that I made, I think it works. But you really require all of your feats to be able to pull this kind of stuff off. So if you're playing up to level 10, stay in T2 difficulty, threat level 2 difficulty, and focus on using your brain burst mostly as an elite killer, and just use a good weapon with lots of ammo. I recommend the last guns. The last guns have a lot of ammo, and they're not too bad. You probably will not get a chance to get the recon last guns, which are the rapid fire ones, until later level. Those can be pretty fun, but yeah, you will not have them early game. So just get yourself a good last gun with lots of ammo, and life should be okay. Should be okay, FYI. I cannot guarantee it will be, but shit. That was me being a moron and getting trapped.
seek shelter, and well they might.
Ooh, nice Medicaid. Yeah. How do you get more ammo during matches? Pick them up. You have to explore around and pick up the ammo. So, yeah.
Engaging critical target.
So yeah, you get more ammo if you like go around and you spot ammo. That's how you get more ammo. So for example, you open these crates, right? You might spot ammo inside it. Now, not always, okay? FYI. So you have to be aware of that. It's not an always kind of dealio. But if you do find some, you can have some pretty good fun with that. So yeah, make sure you're always focusing on finding ammo. No, it's not shared at all. Ammo is never shared in this game. It's all individual, so you gotta be careful with that. If somebody consumes the ammo, and a lot of people do this at low level. Exactly, yes. You have to tell people you need ammo, because a lot of people steal ammo at the lower levels because they don't understand the mechanic. Ammo is not shared at all. So you have to be kind to your teammates. And if you spot ammo, tag it, ping it, and you know, share it to your teammates, because you see ammo, so you pick up the ammo stash, you'll get more ammo. If your teammates take it, you don't get ammo. So it's never shared. Ammo is never shared. I can confirm this as a Darktide partner. So please be aware of that. That's why if people steal your ammo, yeah, that's gonna be a problem for you. And I do understand the frustration, believe me. But make sure to always also stick with your teammates.
Mutant terminated! Adroitly neutralized! It's about to blow! An explosive end! How many voices?
That barrel's going to explode!
Set your data interrogators. If all goes well, we can unlock
Okay.
the system, prime the rods, and send them where they're needed.
Yeah, I know, right? It is always the case, unfortunately. So I wish it were easier, but yeah. Ammo is not shared, so teammates keep stealing it, and I guess that's part of the survival aspect, but it can get so frustrating. But that's why your characters have specific voice lines that you know, they say, hey, you're taking all the ammo and stuff like that. Like, they do have specific voice lines that detail that, which is why people quickly realize that you gotta share ammo. Like, those who need it, like Psykers don't need ammo usually if they get a staff, and it's very important that a Psyker takes a staff so that eventually you also don't drain any ammo. Like, you just manage your ping, your peril. Manage your ping, lol. But yes, listen, if you've got any questions, feel free to ask anytime, because as a Darktide partner, I have access to the creator Discord. I can definitely answer whatever you need. I also answer comments 24 hours per day, unless I'm dead. So you can always leave YouTube comments on my videos. I've got several guide videos out if you're keen on learning some stuff, but I will slowly make more. Like I said, I want to experience content first before making guide videos, because a lot of people, like, one thing that I've seen a lot of creators do, and this is very unfortunate, and they've done it for other games as well. They'll make builds really quickly, and say like this is the best build, but actually they haven't learned it yet at all. Ah, how to manage peril. Okay, so one way that I manage peril, and I can show you an example right now, is, oh my god. Like for example, let's say I'm using my staff psychic powers to burn stuff, right? And my peril is getting high. I will usually quell during combat. Now, staffs have a quell stat, which makes the quelling a lot easier. But until you get that, right? Let's say you're solely using Brain Burst. You don't explode instantly if your Brain Burst takes you at 100. So what I do is I let my Brain Burst take me to 100. It's called edging. And then you quell at 100 specifically. This can be a really good way of staying alive. So one example is like this. Now I really shouldn't be doing this at this difficulty because, okay, see I'm at 100, right? I just use my ability. I go down below 100. And if I get to 100 again, I quell at 100. See, that's an easy way to do things because you don't have to panic too much that way. Like I said, being at 100 will not insta kill you. So people can utilize this as a way of staying alive, basically. So if I want to go pure brain burst, I technically can with this build. It's just not wise to do that. No, you explode and die, Theo. So it's actually a really bad idea to hit 100 and stay at 100. Because you'll just basically go insane. Yeah. But managing peril, very important. So everybody needs to know how to do it anyway. Like once you learn, you're okay. All right, time to get out of here.
The Rager troubles Dalcia no more. Let's be sure before we head down there. I hate everything about this life, but the orbital top is the very worst.
One streak, science flying to the tree. Any landing you can walk away from and all that.
Now, if you switch weapons to your melee weapon as well, that's another way to manage peril. It'll go down by itself. So sometimes if I get to 100 peril and I don't have time to quell, I will just go straight into melee and let that quell my peril. Then once I feel quelled, I go in again. Like so. Damn.
Your aid's welcome. It's rough.
Ooh, bastard. Sometimes you have to be careful with this.
Stay together! Stronger as a team! Indeed! The master of mankind hath allied me with you miscreants.
Yeah, no problem at all. Happy to help. Like I said, the Psyker is my main. No matter how underwhelming it is, Psykers are my main. And I will always love Psykers. Now, I'm going to experience the other classes for sure. But Psykers are the thing for me. They are the one. Disconnected from server. What?
Manufactorum HL1736 is heading towards a power systems failure, thanks to a bit of heretic sabotage. Our allies are screaming for the factory's battle tanks.
No, you can reconnect, so it's okay even if you disconnect. There are still a lot of bugs to work out. Like, we in the creator Discord completely understand it, so we know.
Strictly for emergencies. I reckon this qualifies, don't you?
Psyker is not the only CC class. Every class has some level of CC, some level of range combat, stuff like that. So Psyker is not the only one. Oh man, this is the first time we've had crashes. Maybe it's because of the Purgatus. Darn. There are crashes based on specific weapons. Maybe it's to do with the particle effects. I do realize that might be an issue. Yeah, that does happen. Like I said, the game is still in pre-order beta and there's a lot of work to be done. Just know that the creators, the devs are working on it, so you will absolutely get good stuff. Like, by the time launch comes around, it should be all right. It should be all right. But until then, yeah, there are crashes. I'm not gonna lie. It can be frustrating. Just know that you can reconnect and, like, it's not, like, legit the end of the world. So as frustrating as it is...
Manufactorum HL1736 is heading towards a power systems failure, thanks to a bit of heretic sabotage.
You know, we can still survive.
So you're going to restore the coolant and hopefully save the day. Cryonic rods can flush the system. You'll find some in the control room. They're strictly for emergencies. I reckon this qualifies, don't you?
Oh.
Now you just need to bust the system.
This way!
Okay, now we just need to flush the system.
Attend! A healing station!
Alright.
We have slain the Ranger!
Holding the wall!
I'm taking advantage of this 10 seconds to really blast these guys. Like, this Purgatus staff build has potential to work, but I think the Surge staff will still be better with it. Holding peril? No, the full release is on the 30th. The full release is on the 30th, so yeah. Like, no matter what, they will release it on the 30th. Like, it will no longer be in beta on the 30th, but I foresee that there will still be some adjustments to be made. So all I ask is that you bear with us. Like, we creators and partners are 110% talking to these guys every single day in the Discord. Like, we're talking to them, we're asking them, okay, so what do we do here, what do we do there, and we're in constant contact with the devs. So if nothing else, the devs are very aware that like I'm very aware that a lot is going on. So yeah. So when it's at full release, right? All I ask is that you bear with us because it is gonna be a wild time for sure. Okay, the only thing I'm gonna test now is because the Soul Blaze, I just don't see it being good at all. You know, it's just not useful. But I'm gonna try now Soul Blaze methodology versus the normal and see which one I like better. The new stuff sucks. And sometimes you have to wait for shop RNG as well. So that's the other sort of like downside to this whole thing. You end up waiting for shop RNG to make sure that you know, you can get the best stuff. One day I'll get the good stuff here. I'll wait for a golden sword. That's what I'm gonna wait for. Okay. Okay. Now I'll try a T3. Now I'm going to show you the difference between, because earlier I was just playing, like before I end the stream, because after this I'll probably go and have lunch. Earlier I was playing around with the fire-based staff, right? The fire-based staff is good, but not great. And it's not what I want. Because at the end of the day, range is too important. Psykers need range. So, how do you get the best out of your range? Now, the Void Strike staff is great as well. If I can find a good one, I will definitely abuse it. But the Surge staff is my favorite because it has range, CC, and high damage, right? And under the right circumstances, you can really brutalize the hell out of your opponents. Check it out. This is the build that I was using in T4s. It is the build I'm using in T4s with one modification because I want to test the difference between what I was using for the T4 and what I'm going to be using in the T, and whether or not this modification makes it better or worse.
Boundary flavor, my favorite.
Air quality is perhaps a little poor. It will improve in the next section.
War's hungry, and it feeds on bodies and weapons. Weapons made in places like this.
What makes this manufactorum a priority?
1 second, guys. Gonna adjust. Okay.
That'll get you deeper into the
Let's go.
manufactorum.
We have trust to repay. Let us not let Zola die.
Like the lightning staff, basically I can give most things that come my way. It's literally just straight up, oh, you know, you're in front of me, let me just zap you. And charging it up makes that even more potent. It's almost a guaranteed kill on most circumstances.
A frontal assault without backup. Why am I not surprised? Primary function weapons manufacturer.
The only other downside is that sometimes the bots kill things too fast. And I can't build up my charges. Now, this is one of those situations where I will get to 100. Yeah, like that. That's perfect. Beautiful.
Shot on target.
Busted 220 engaged.
Oh, well, they're all bots, so it doesn't matter.
Droppers
Hello.
Adroitly neutralized! Watch out! Gunner!
Hello, Nunzio. Why has it been so long, brother? Were thou too busy for thy lord? How you doing, my dude? I hope you're doing good.
Unprofessional, but efficient, zealot. Displeasing enemy advantage.
Pocket grenade!
What do we got? What do we got?
Our path is dark and deep.
I'm just tagging ammo for these guys, but they don't need it, so we move on.
Ammo!
You've reached the elevator. Time to get it in motion.
Your end is nigh! Grenade out!
Excessive force authorized.
Pocket grenade! Engaging priority target! Keep your aim! We can win this!
They have us at a disadvantage. Now you die, hound. Engaging war protocols.
Eliminating target! Watch this one! Suppressing fire!
Elevator there. Head down to the smelter complex.
Engaging war protocols.
Losing a lot of blood!
Those wounds need attention.
Okay.
Bomber ready!
I always use keyboard and mouse. Controller, definitely not. This game is Darktide. I am currently a partner for Darktide, so you'll probably see it around quite often. No cap. Darktide is a fantastic game. I absolutely love it. And being a partner for Darktide is pretty damn awesome, you know? So yeah, I'm having a good time with it. Like I said, it's a great game. But the only thing is that you just need to understand things in this game. You have to know what you're doing. And it's new. It's not even actually launched yet. Right now, it's just the pre-order beta. The game will officially launch on the 30th of November. So yeah, I'm just me and the rest of the pre-order people are just getting to play it early, and I'm getting to play it early because I'm a partner. So they gave me a game, and They said play, so I said play. So I said okay. And here I am, playing.
Feast thine eyes on that fire, sludge!
You need to drive out the demonic infestation. Give it a taste of violence.
The snarling ceases! Focus on thy labors! Mind without purpose wandereth in dark places!
Pray, and he will give you strength.
Okay, destroy the demonic growth. So what we have here is a demonic growth situation. Aww.
Anyone require healing?
Who this? Really? But yeah, most games I always play with mouse and keyboard. I'm just used to it, you know? That's just my style and way of life. I can't do games without my mouse and keyboard. Just too important.
An Imperial Guard commissar guided by protocols other than fear, I wonder.
You knowest nothing of the noble officio perfectus. Many a defeat hath been avoided by a quick-thinking commissar. Someone's got to keep order. Nobody says it's fair. It's down!
I'm just being a bit of an extra wanker here, just because I can. Right? I'm using a full-on brain burst assault style, which can be pretty fun.
These are dark days for Atoma.
You need to group up.
Ah, there's the next side. Oof.
Thou shalt burn, shotgunner! Engage in precision fire!
You'll do better as a group.
Ah, there they are. Doing this for the charges. I'm trying a little challenge to see if I can the mouse sensitivity is high. No. I think your mouse is set to a very high that your default mouse sensitivity is way too high, because this game's sensitivity is actually pretty low. I'm using the default, and it's not too high at all, unless you require very low sensitivity, which is obviously better for FPS type games. But when I play Overwatch, I actually lowered my sensitivity all the way, and it's actually pretty okay. So this game does not, like, the default sensitivity is not that high because I don't feel like it's too different from Overwatch. In fact, thanks to this game, my aim improved a lot when I was playing Overwatch, which is weird sounding, but, you know, it is actually what happened. So it could be your mouse itself. Like, you might want to check that it's not your mouse itself having that. Because sometimes it's your default settings that you have to worry about.
Is that a med station? I never thought I'd see these engines stilled. The bomber is ended.
You need to drive out the demonic infestation. Give it a taste of violence.
The trap is sent to the throne.
I think it's, yeah, it definitely must be your default mouse, as in like your innate mouse sensitivity, is what I'd probably say.
Hey, veteran, I rise. Let this grenade obliterate our foe. Revolting.
Kill one, now find the rest.
I am one with the wall.
Breathing more demonic growth.
Yeah, definitely. Because sometimes people, like, they up their normal, like, their own sensitivity without realizing it. Like, for me, I'm using a SteelSeries mouse. If you still find the sensitivity too high, you know, default settings are the only way to go. Because normally in games, right, it's like the sensitivity here is a factor of your normal sensitivity. So, like, for example, mine, if I turned it down in Overwatch, is like the fraction of what it should be. So for mine, it's like 10% of my normal sensitivity in Overwatch, and that is slow enough that because remember, for FPS games, one of the biggest advice is always turn your sensitivity down. How did I become a partner? I applied. So I'm a YouTube creator, obviously, and also a Twitch creator. Although my Twitch is relatively new. And I applied to the program, and they said that I'm all good. So that's how I became a partner. I applied and got in. Diversity is basically the key, so I reckon that they realize that I bring something good to the table. See, the game that I was originally, I guess you could say, famous for is called Dauntless. And in Dauntless, I am famous for one thing. I was actually like, and this is hilarious, but in Dauntless, I was actually sort of rebuked for being very anti-establishment, meaning that there were all these guys that were trying to gatekeep the game, and they were the creators and partners of the game, which makes it even worse because they're major assholes. Basically, when I was at 300 subs, they tried to bully me and stuff, and they even got me like blacklisted from ever being a partner in Dauntless. And what I did was I started making YouTube videos that showed the truth. That is to say, a lot of these people were lying to their audience about what builds were viable, what stuff was viable, and I realized that it wasn't a logical thing, you know? I realized that when it comes to games like, well, any kind of game really, you don't just have one or two builds that work. There might be multiple builds that work. Now, especially with a game that's been around for a long time. And so I started showing alternative ways that people could play their characters, stuff like that. And the establishment was very, very unhappy with this. So they tried to defame me on Reddit. In fact, if you go on Reddit and search my name for Dauntless, you'll see all the threads about people cursing me, you know, all that kind of stuff. But honestly, like, it didn't matter because what it did was it just helped me build up, and it taught me a lot about content creation. And thanks to that, you know, I guess when Fat Shark checked my channel, they realized that I bring a very different kind of value. So yeah, thank you for saying it's well deserved. I hope to continue to deserve the attention that I do get. And of course, you can count on me to always be 100% honest, because the way that I do things right is I always test things fully. If something doesn't work consistently and cannot be replicated, I don't consider it like viable at all, which is why my builds are very trusted across the games that I play. People usually ask me, so how do you build? How do you build this? How do you build that? And I'll always tell them that, well, after testing, you know, this is the best way to do things. Like, for example, with the Psyker right now, I'm still gonna test it out and figure it out. But, you know, once I do, you can bet that I will share it across the board so that everybody can enjoy. Oh. Hey, we can leave. Nice.
Are you so eager to burn? Move!
There are a lot. The spam bots always come around, unfortunately. Whenever a channel is like seen as popular, and even though, like, it's kind of crazy, even though I've got, what, 7 people, they say I'm popular, it's because my 7 viewers are real. Yeah. Anyway, that is how it is. Okay, I'm so sad that these guys didn't realize that there's good squads out there. Anyway, Lady Kibble, I hope you enjoyed the content. I'll be back in the evening for Dauntless. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're interested in seeing more. You can also turn notifications on. Although I am a varied creator, like I do a huge variety of stuff, so it may not always be Darktide. You also may want to follow me on Twitch if you want to keep up with content, because I alternate the days that I stream stuff. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on Twitch again. I do generally play with channel members, so if in future you are a channel member, I would happily play with you. But the reason I chose, and this is also to apply to other games, so absolutely no offense intended when I say this. The only reason I chose not to play with just viewers is because a lot of people, they aren't interested in the content, they're only interested in a specific game. So what I will tell you is, and because I think you've got a really good personality, if you're the type that shows up to my other streams and like I see that you're really down for the community, even if you're not a member, I would happily play with you. But in general, to make sure that people don't take advantage of the system, I usually only play with channel members. And FYI, a channel membership is cheaper than a Twitch sub. It's only 3 Singapore dollars, which is actually like, what, $2 US or something. So I made my channel memberships very cheap. So do consider it in future if you enjoy my content. But do follow me for a while. See if you like the times where I stream. See if you like the content that I stream. And if so, then yeah, see if it's worth it for you. Because I will not be streaming in the morning so often anymore. Because I'll be going to the gym soon. in the mornings, and most of my streams will be in the afternoons or in the evenings. On YouTube, all you got to do is, now you cannot become a channel member if you're on the iPhone. This is because the iPhone has some weird shit with YouTube that there should be a join button. You should see a join button where the subscribe button is. In fact, I've actually got a video that also showcases it. Let me just link that to you in case you want to check it out when I'm gone, because I'll be leaving after this to have lunch. But this is the video in question. You should be able to see a join button, and if you hit the join button, there's different tiers of membership, and you can choose the one that's right for you. Like depending on what kind of perks you want. Some people, they choose the higher tier to support the channel, because streaming and content creation is my full-time job. They want to see more stuff, so they choose the higher tier. But my recommendation is see for yourself whether or not my time zone is good for you. And maybe after a week or 2 weeks that you've been following me, you think that you're going to be able to show up for a lot of streams, or you like hanging out with the community, then definitely get a membership. I would, like, as much as I love money, I always caution people against buying in first, because it's kind of like getting a sub immediately and then not knowing whether the creator is right for you. Because at the end of the day, when you're working with a creator, one of the biggest things is, of course, you want to support them, but also is their content, you know, the kind that you want to watch, and do their stream times match up with you. It's different if I was a channel that was producing a TV show, and that's okay. But yeah, well, okay, you've made your decision. Thank you. Welcome to the Cool Bots. Yeah, keep hanging around, and I hope to see you at more streams. Like I said, tonight, totally different game I'll be playing, but it'll also be on YouTube, so I'll see you there. All right, thank you everyone for hanging out at my stream. I hope you guys have a good time. Don't forget to sub, noties on, keep that bell option on, because I make a lot of content, so I will do that. Tomorrow I'll be on Twitch. Tonight we'll be on YouTube. I'll see y'all there. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Lady Kibble. Welcome to the Robot Nation. It's good to have a new robot with us. Angel, good to see you. But unfortunately, it's the end of stream, so I gotta go. Thank you all. Thank you all. I will be off for lunch now, and the next time you'll see me is in the evening. But I will release a video in between then. It's going to contain one little trick for Psychers. It's actually what I discussed with you, Lady Kibble, but I'm actually going to show people the actual trick behind it with the staff and everything. So